This one is can be a little bit more tricky. The one thing that you want to double check each month is that report that is sitting at the bottom of page 9. You want to make sure that the CM balance to GL, that this matches. And what you're balancing here is your cash management balance to your future balance in general ledger. And then next, you're going to run the bank account verification report. I'm going to show you that here in just a minute. And then lastly, you will run the bank reconciliation report. And that number, if you look at the reports in your handout on page 9 and 11, if you look at where it says register balance as of statement date, it matches back to the cash account balance on the balance to GL report. And that's what you're looking for. Now, the other thing that you're looking for, let me bring up cash management. And sometimes, if you are seeing a difference in these reports, sometimes running this report will actually show you where you need to make corrections. So you're going to run reports, reconciliation, and you're going to run the bank account balance verification. I'm going to go ahead and run this one. This is a crystal report. It's going to take a minute to come up and show us the information on the banks. Okay. So it's going to show you a page for each bank. Your banks will be listed over here on the left-hand side. And what you're looking for on these three totals, the bank balance, the CM posted balance, and the register balance, you're making sure that there's no variance here. If there's a variance, that means that something has been modified or changed in the edit register program, and maybe even changed back. So you may have gone in and changed maybe a status, a reconciliation status, so you could make a correction, and then you changed it back. That throws off these totals. What you're correcting and what should be the amount on the bank is anything in the derived column. So if there is a variance, you're going to come into the bank and you're going to change that amount to whatever you see here in the derived balance column. So each one of these totals has that column. So it's here, the posted balance is here, and the register balance is here. You should look at each of your active banks. So you see right here, this one's got a variance. Okay, so something's off here. This one's got a variance. I need to go in and put the derived amounts in on these banks, on this bank for these two amounts in order for it to balance. Now, the way you do that is you'll need to come in under Tools, Options, and you will need to check the Audit Setup Activity checkbox. By doing that, you can come in on the bank account. That opens up these balances, and then you can change them. The register balance and the bank balance are on this window, this first General tab, and your cash CM posted balance is here on the totals by GL account, cash account. This number needs to balance to this number here on the grid. And you can change either one of these or both so that they match. And usually that's what will correct the CM to GL report. Sometimes this grid gets kind of messed up and it won't balance up here to this posted CM balance. You may have had multiple accounts at one time associated with this bank, and that account is still on this grid, and there's an amount in here that shouldn't be there. So you can come in with audit setup activity turned on and you can correct those. Now, if you're still out of balance after correcting the account, after looking in, the other thing again is to look in general ledger and make sure that nothing has been posted to that cash account. If it's still out of balance, then you need to contact us for us to kind of take a look at your data with you to see if we can figure out where along the line it went out of balance. And that's the same with AP and AR as well. One of the things that we'll ask you is when was the last time it did balance? Because you should be running these steps every month at the end of the month. So if you haven't reconciled for several months, we will backtrack. We'll actually we might even get a copy of your data and go backwards and find the spot where it went out of balance. And it could be that it's been out of balance for a while, and sometimes it's easy to find if it's been out of balance by the same amount. We'll go backwards until we see that it's in balance, and then we'll start looking for the transactions that may have caused it to go out of balance. But again, this is something that you should be doing each month, and when it goes out of balance, you should research it right away. And you can run these steps. You don't have to wait until month end. You can run the reports and you can reconcile yourself during the month, and that might be a good idea too, especially if you're a huge company, a lot of transactions. You might want to do this, run the reports a couple times a month to make sure that things are being posted correctly, to the right accounts.